That was Castor Skies. That was the track that Urban Breed himself said, if there's a song you need to check out from Sirius Black, here is it. And it's a great track off the album. And speaking of the band you recently, and of course, a friend of the program, and I'm not sure why she's a friend of the program. She seems to like us for some reason. I'm not sure why. But Lacey Mucklow, who I know you know, had mentioned that obviously you guys were at Prog Power just recently. You got to perform. And being in Atlanta, Lacey kind of said that Urban just hangs out. He's like at every Prog Power just to kind of check out what's going on band-wise. And hell, why wouldn't you if you live there? Because I know I would. But, this time you got a chance to perform for all the people that you kind of made friends with at the annual Prog Power Festival. So tell us what that was like, because I know that you've had some members of the band who've been there before, but for some it's a new adventure for them to be at Prog Power. So, what was their feedback, and obviously how is it like for you to perform at Prog Power once again?
Well, it's a little strange. I was actually asked this question before we even got on there, because for the Prog Power thing to go, they have a small little magazine that they give out to all the attendees. And so I was asked during an interview exactly how I felt about this. And I thought, it wouldn't be anything special, lots of friends, you get up on the stage, it's a show, you do it. And, maybe it'll be a little different. But once I actually stepped up on the stage, I kind of stopped and I looked out. I said to myself before I even started singing, I'm like, I've never seen so many people that I know.
Oh, that's cool.
While standing on the stage, I'm looking out. I recognize, I can name pretty much every face I see in the light. I'm like,
awesome,
what is this?
So it's like performing for friends, really.
I already have my tickets for next year. I know you may not be performing, but I'll see you there next year.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, unless I'm playing elsewhere. I mean, if I'm at home, if I don't have any other engagements, then I will be there. Definitely. So see you then.
Great.
That's what I think too. You don't want to miss it.
No, and I won't ever again. But
good.
One of the favorite. Now I'm going to kind of put you on the spot.
All right.
You've been in quite a few bands. You've toured a lot. You've been all over the world. This is always a fun question. Give us the most hilarious tour story that maybe has never been exposed before of any band you've ever been in. It could be a tour story of your band or a band you were touring with. Something just hilarious that happened in a hotel or on a bus or in a kitchen or God knows where.
Oh, man.
Yeah. This is so. Here you go. You have just.
but I have to take some time to think that that I don't actually out someone for something that they
it's already happened on the show many times. Just so you know.
Don't worry, it's happening.
Yeah, no, it's also not very easy. I'm pretty fresh off the tour right now, so
yeah, that's true.
And we didn't really have too many incidents. It was one of the most friendly tours I've ever been on. We were 3 bands on one nightliner, and not a single fight. That's fantastic. So no,
it doesn't have to be a fight. It could be something.
No. I'm just trying to think here, because right now I'm drawing a complete blank. Because basically the stupidest things they happen and you just laugh at them and there you go. I'm not one for telling stories myself a lot. So, but from this last tour, there was one incident where I actually lost my temper right before the show. This was in Munich. And I absolutely can't stand people smoking in my face, especially not when I'm about to step up on stage. And Mario is, of course, a big smoker. And I'm standing out there just ready to get up on stage, and he steps out and he wants to take his last smoke before he gets up, and he blows it right in my face, and I just explode. So this is not a funny story. This is actually tragic. I should have kept my cool, but I didn't. I was so pissed off at him that I wouldn't look at him for the first 6 songs. I would block his ass when he tried to get up to the monitors. In fact, I started swinging him around on stage just to mess with him, and that's the story for this time. It's really embarrassing for myself, and I did apologize, and Mario apologized. We're all friends. We made up in a little brief break when we had a drum solo, and we got out and had lots of fun. But yeah, things happen.
So that's the kind of stuff that happens during solos then, is, people iron things out that we didn't know. And
it can happen, definitely. The solo thing is really good for things, where you sort things out, you need a bit of a break, that's what it's really for, man.
Yeah. Well, there you go. A little behind the scenes. Good to know.
Yeah.
It is. Now, one of the, one of the big reasons we even started this show was because we love metal, and we love to bring bands to the forefront that deserve to be heard, but because for whatever reason, the big labels don't pick them up, or they don't get promoted, or whatever the case may be. So I have a segment that when Jason and I first started talking about doing a show many years ago, I wanted to do, and it's called Biv's Best Band You've Never Heard of. Now, you've had the opportunity to tour with a lot of bands, either opening for them or them opening for you, or maybe you're just a fan going to a show. But what's a band in your mind that you're just like, holy shit, how have these guys not been heard? Who is it?
Well, I have two bands in mind for something like this, but it's not like they're entirely unheard. But can I mention two bands?
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Because that would be great. And I'm actually friends with these people on top of that.
That's fine too.
I was going to start with, if you like thrash of any kind, I suggest you check out The Scourge from Houston.
I've heard of that.
Yes, okay. It's my friend Ann Ratwood and Garrick Smith and Mikey Lewis, and basically half of Hellstar at this point. But they're doing their thrash thing, and they're really good. I absolutely love what they're doing, and I think they're going to release their first. They produce an EP. They're going to do their first album. I've heard some of the stuff, and they're already writing their second before their first one is out. So they're going to be productive soon. And then secondly, of course, it's Mind Maze, my good friend Jeff Teets and Sarah Teets.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
awesome stuff. I love what they're doing, and they both these bands deserve more recognition. Absolutely,
you're absolutely right. Mind Maze is amazing. I agree.
Definitely.
Well, speaking of more, go ahead, Bev.
No, I was going to say, just one of the things that we definitely want to get into now is you've got a brand new CD out yourself.
Heck yeah, you do.
Oh, I do.
Well, that's what the word on the street is that you do. So. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that nasty rumor. I can't shake it.
I know, right?
What's it called again? Mirrorworld?
Mirror something or other. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm not really prepared for this, so I apologize. But no, I'll tell you what. It's when you listen to, obviously you have Breaking the Surface, which kind of kicks off the album, is the intro track. That a lot of bands seem to start albums with out nowadays, but the first song of music, if you will, or actual track is "As Long as I'm Alive." That's a song to me that has a definite power metal feel to it.
It's absolutely power
yeah.
metal.
I mean, it's very at least from the verse standpoint. Maybe take some of the keyboards out, and I do get a kind of 80s metal church sound to me, and especially during the verses and the solo part. But a very solid opening track. And again, I know you're a huge fan of the podcast, Urban, so you already know this. But let's say you didn't know this. I'm a big fan of starting off an album the right way, and just a track that says, here's who we are, here's what we do, let's go. I believe the track order plays a big role, and this is a definite good track to kick the album off with. What great track to get things rolling, definitely. And obviously you heard Castor Skies, which Urban himself feels is definitely a good summary of what the sound of the band is. I get, and we kind of talked about this off air a little bit.
Quite frankly, though, I think you'd probably have to be able to summarize this band. You need to pick 3 tracks.
Well, no, I agree. Well, that's true. Yeah. I'm sorry, that wasn't really fair. We only made you pick 1. I'm sorry. Well, we'll ask you 2 more here in a bit. How's that? But Castor Skies to me, again, I get a lot of Symphony X riffing on this, especially standout track. Great solo on this song as well. It's not a mystery at all that this was the song that not only you decided to highlight on the podcast here, but quite frankly, it's a song that you as a band decided to highlight as well, because it's a killer song.
Yeah, it is, definitely. So, I mean, there's no doubt about it. That's actually one of the songs that has some vocals tracked in the kitchen.
Oh, sweet! I was going to ask that.
Nice.
Yes, the verses are straight up from the kitchen.
Oh, see, so from now on. So, guys, go back and listen to Castor Skies and just imagine Urban in a Czechoslovakian kitchen somewhere.
Because this is what happened. Bob sent me his early demo of the track. Didn't have a good chorus, so I said to myself, I got an idea. I played the chorus on keyboards, added the vocals, and had the immediately got the idea for what the verses should be all about. So I wrote them and recorded and sent it over to Bob, and we had the song. That's how quick it was. And
wow.
We just kept the verses the way they were sung because that was just clean. But of course, I had to retrack the chorus because I played it on keyboards. Bob played it on the guitar.
Right.
Timing was slightly different, so I had to retrack that. Otherwise, we might have been able to stick to that as well. But no. So the chorus, I mean, basically, the verses are tracked in the Czech Republic in the kitchen of Jan's studio.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Then we got great. Heartbroken Soul, which to me is a very like a mid-tempo rocker with a kind of a like a 80s rock vibe to me at times, at least. That's kind of what I get from it.
It's a song with swagger.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point, definitely. And then we go into one of the standout songs on the album for me, and incredibly just catchy as hell. I love Dying Hearts. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. And here's another reason why I like it too, is at least in my world, and I'm curious your thoughts on this, Urban, vocally on this song, it's way different than the rest of the album. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm hearing it differently, but it's awesome. I mean, it's really, really good.
We have another really good singer in the band. His name is Jan Vacek. It's our keyboard player. He sings the whole song. That is why.
Does he really?
Yes, he also does this live. It's a great thing.
I did not know that.
Oh, no, he's a really good singer. And I felt that it's a great big shame to waste that. And so when we tracked this, AFM told me, Urban, sing this song. And I said, no. Jan sings it fantastically well. Just leave it.
Wow. To me, it has a very Crystal Ball type of vibe to it, if you're familiar with them.
We shared the stage with them fairly recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing because I'm like, wow, this doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard Urban record.
That's hardly surprising.
Well, now it makes total sense because I'm like, and it sounds great. So
yeah, I mean that's what I said. I told AFM that I cannot put the passion in this like he does because it's his song.
It's a great track.
There you go.
It's one of my favorite songs on the album. And 4 tracks into the album, if I'm listening in the order of the 4 tracks I just mentioned, this kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier in the interview. It's incredibly eclectic. I mean, you have one power metal song. Maybe Castor Skies you could stretch into that category too.